I use these articles as my own education on the subject that I'm writing on. So I'm actually reading them, and I find it so interesting and easy to understand. So you're right. The strategy that you used for the ease of or the semantic ease,
low cognitive load.
Cognitive load. I was educating myself on the subjects that I was writing about on my website.
Ignoring all the marketing buzz and me trying to sell our software, what is Google trying to do when you search for something? When you as a human being search for something, it is trying to find content, whether that be a video, whether that be an image, whether it be a blog article, that is useful to you as the end user human being. That is Google's business model. They are trying to serve you stuff that is useful to you. And so anyone creating content on the internet, whether it be a funny TikTok video, whether it be an ad for a car, whether it be a blog article about capital raising, really should be trying to help Google achieve their ultimate goal, which is to serve up highly useful content to the end users of the internet.
Hi, I'm Zarina, and welcome to the Grownlearn podcast. Beyond these conversations, I actively connect investors with high growth opportunities. Right now, I'm working on projects seeking strategic partners. If you're an investor, PE firm, or family office looking for scalable ventures, let's talk. Book a call at grownlearn.org to explore these opportunities. Speaking to the man bringing lots of traffic to my website, Nick Jain, previously CEO of IdeaScale, now CEO of Content Hurricane, a revolutionary software that drives traffic to your websites, all automated, AI driven, but it's seriously not the crappy AI articles that you can imagine written by ChatGPT or similar. These are really well researched. Nick is going to tell you everything about the technology behind. Hi, Nick. Welcome.
Hey, thank you so much for having me on the show, Zarina, as well as for the very kind introduction.
Nick, I just want to refer people to the previous episode so that they can watch you speak about innovation when you were previously CEO of IdeaScale, because this new venture that you've started is a perfect example of innovation. So it's a natural continuation of your path. We're not going to talk about you that much, rather about what you've created and how it can be helpful to people. So what's Content Hurricane?
Sure. So one quick piece for the prior part of my career, I've typically run large companies up to $100 million. This is my first time starting something new. And the need we identified was, look, every type of business, whether you are Microsoft or whether you're a small grocery store or a small startup, needs to get customers to their website to learn about their product or service and ultimately buy it. And the way people typically do that is they hire a marketing agency who writes a bunch of blog articles or makes a bunch of videos. That's really expensive and really slow and often really complicated. So I figured that there's two things we need to do really effectively from a marketing AI perspective. Number one, make a self-serve tool that is stupid simple to use. So somebody think that your grandmother could use. Number two, actually make it useful so Google sends you great traffic. And so what Content Hurricane does is an AI-powered blog writer that does two things really differently. Number one is it's really simple to use. You've used it. It should take 30 seconds for the average person to use. Doesn't require any technical expertise. Very easy. You don't have to hire a marketing agency. The second thing is it publishes articles that are really high quality. I'm sure we've all gone to ChatGPT and asked it to write an email for us or write a blog article, and it spits out something that's okay, but it looks like it was written by a fifth grader and sounds like it was written by an AI. And Google generally does not reward such articles. Whereas Content Hurricane, what it does is three real good things. Number one, writes an expert level article on any topic you want. It researches it. Number two, it makes it look really pretty from a visual perspective in terms of highlighting, in terms of bolding, bullets, all that stuff. And number three, it optimizes it for Google in a way that Google's algorithm will respect and ultimately send traffic your way. And this product is basically designed to be really effective for any business owner or marketer or agency that just wants to write great blog articles at scale with very minimal effort.
Mm-hmm. Is the content optimized now still for Google or for other AI engines or language models?
Sure. So I actually simplified it a little bit. So we actually are not doing SEO optimization the way that all the marketers and stuff talk about it. So everyone talks about SEO hacks like we're going to optimize headings or keyword stuffing or vector management. We actually don't do that. The way we do SEO optimization, something more fundamental. We said, if you think about what Google or Bing or ChatGPT or all these search engines are trying to do is they're trying to serve up useful content to end users. So we actually ignored all of the stuff people talk about in SEO and said, look, we're just going to write great articles and Google is going to Google or Bing or ChatGPT are going to reward the fact that we're just putting out awesome content for our customers. So the secret sauce is that we actually ignored everything everyone else does for SEO. Don't do any keyword research or long tail research. We just try and put out great content, and it turns out Google's algorithm is that's what it's searching for and rewarding you. Not just Google, but Bing, ChatGPT, Perplexity, etc.
Mm-hmm. So how did you design a model that actually writes great articles? What are the key components in a great article?
Sure. Sure. So we didn't write a new what's called a foundational model. We're still using OpenAI and Gemini as kind of the core brains. But then what we did is two things from a technical perspective. Number one is what I call that philosophical shift. Almost all marketers and SEO people are still focused on SEO optimization. They have all these tips and tricks and hacks, and you can go read about them on the internet. We don't do that because we think when you're trying to hack Google's algorithm, Google is smarter than you, and every time they upgrade your algorithm, you're gonna fight a losing battle. So number one, we made that philosophical shift where we switched away from hacking SEO to actually just trying to do what Google is trying to accomplish. Number two is how did we use the foundational models to actually achieve that philosophical goal? And there's three things we did. Number one, we said we very much focused on trying to do deep research on a domain of expertise, whether that domain of expertise be, growing great apples or producing the perfect hammer or a marketing tool. Second is we do what's called layering. And you often do this in ChatGPT yourself when it comes out with a result that you don't like, you say, well, make it more fun or make it, shorter. So that's called layering or iteration. And we have a bunch of iteration that's happening in the background. So you as the end user don't have to do that. We've done that all for you. And number three is we create content that is a little bit of a technical piece, but we are trying to achieve three technical goals that make the content useful to both the human being on the receiving end as well as to the Google algorithm. Number one, we make it useful. Number two, we make it what's called a low intellectual load or low cognitive load, which means it's easy enough for the user to read and understand as a human being without feeling like it was written by a second grader, so not too dumb. And number three, we make it easy for computer algorithms to read without making it intended for computer algorithms as an audience. And by achieving those three things, low cognitive load, high relevance, and easy semantic interpretability, it's really useful for both human beings and for algorithms to read.
Mm-hmm. I think it may be useful for me to share, maybe the listeners would need to switch to YouTube to watch my screen, but I just want to share the type of output that we get from Content Hurricane because I've been using it for 3 months now. I just want to show what the backend looks like and what the output looks like on my website so that
Please.
people have an idea. Okay. So this is the dashboard where you can create content, and I have both my websites listed here. So let's go to Grow and Learn, and then I'm going to show you what the articles look like. So I want to talk about criteria for capital raise, just as an example. Investment criteria, or shall I just go with the investment criteria?
Whatever you want, you could make it as complex or as simple as you'd like.
Okay, so I've put 5 articles that I want generated, and here I have some subtopics. I can select whether I want to continue with them or not, and then it will publish them. So I can choose how many articles per day, when they should be published, what time of the day, and I want them starting, let's say, in October because I've already loaded quite a lot. And I'll publish them at PM because I have audience from the US and this is my local time. I would suppose. Is this my local time?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Whatever local time your blog or website is set to.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm activating it and it's going to schedule. But in the meantime, I want to show you what the blog looks like, how the articles are being published. So here I have my previous articles. This is from today, from yesterday. It looks quite decent. I really like it. Well structured. And actually, if I have to be very honest, I use these articles as my own education on the subject that I am writing on. So I'm actually reading them, and I find it so interesting and easy to understand. So you're right. The strategy that you used for the ease of or the semantic ease, whatever you call it, semantics ease,
Yeah,
right?
low cognitive load.
Cognitive load. This one looks really well because I was educating myself on the subjects that I was writing about on my website. So great, great.
Which is the intent, right? Like, if
Yeah.
you really think of ignoring all the marketing buzz and me trying to sell our software, what is Google trying to do when you search for something? When you as a human being search for something, it is trying to find content, whether that be a video, whether that be an image, whether it be a blog article, that is useful to you as the end user human being. That is Google's business model. They are trying to serve you stuff that is useful to you. And so anyone creating content on the internet, whether it be a funny TikTok video, whether it be an ad for a car, whether it be a blog article about capital raising, really should be trying to help Google achieve their ultimate goal, which is to serve up highly useful content to the end users of the internet.
Now that people have switched to search on ChatGPT, how is this affecting the um importance of SEO ranking on Google? Is it still showing, is it still extracting the higher ranked SEO websites on Google?
Sure. I think there's three things that are happening as generative AI search engines are mattering. And Google's doing generative AI search too, right? You're often getting an AI summary at the top of Google search. So I think there's three things that are happening. Number one, overall web traffic has started to slow down or even decline for the first time since the internet was invented, because fewer people are actually clicking and going through to websites. They're just reading the AI summary at the top of Google or they're searching on ChatGPT. So that's number one. Web traffic is actually going down for the first time in 30 or 40 years since the internet came around. That's not actually that bad, by the way, because there's a bunch you why would you go to a website? Because you had to go read it to figure out if it was useful. The second thing that's happened is people are switching to alternative search engines. A lot of people are switching to doing search on Perplexity or Gemini or ChatGPT instead of using Google or Bing traditional. Um, the third thing that is happening is search is becoming much more contextual and interpretive. So historically, when you search for the word, let's say Ford car, it would actually search for those keywords in the articles or in the website. Instead of now searching for Ford car, all search engines, whether it be Google or whether it be ChatGPT, are now really thinking about what is Zarina searching for when she's searching for a Ford car, right? Is she searching for repairs? Is she searching for a new car? Is she searching for a dealership? So they're going to the articles, the search engines are becoming much more thoughtful about why you're searching for it rather than just searching for the keywords. And then the final thing from a technical SEO perspective is not that much has changed practically if you are a marketer or somebody trying to drive traffic to your own website. The only thing that has changed is the traditional hacks of trying to do keyword stuffing or tail keywords. They matter less because these search engines are getting smarter at trying to, again, understand the context of what Zarina or what Nick are searching for rather than just the keywords or queries that we're searching for. So the value of being an SEO, expert or an SEO hacker is going down. The value of creating great content for that end user is going up over time.
Mhm. Do you think that there would be a level of saturation over time when people start using this tool and similar tools for SEO optimization and, in a way, saturate the market with information, with those type of articles on a particular subject? Let's choose one
So
industry. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So you're absolutely right. Saturation is happening, but I think that is not a bad thing, right? There's a lot of crappy content on the internet, and the internet could be TikTok, right? If there's I don't know what the number is. Let's imagine there's a million videos on TikToks. TikTok is saturated. Every day there's more videos coming out than you could see in your entire lifetime. And 99.99% of them suck, but 0.01% of them are awesome. And by the way, on average, content is improving on TikTok or the internet every day because all the crappy content gets killed. People learn what makes good content. And so tomorrow, on average, the content is better. And you can see this if you compare the best TikTok videos today versus the best ones from a year ago, right? The best ones today are just much more interesting. Similarly, if you compare the best website today to the best website from 1995, there were still a billion websites on the internet in 1995, but the average quality of even the mediocre website today is so much better than 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So yes, saturation is happening, but people learn from that saturation and improve, and it improves the quality of everything else on the internet too along the way.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, makes sense. What are some, I know that people see tremendous results after using Content Hurricane after just a few short months. What are some of the results that you're seeing in terms of ranking, in terms of viewership?
Sure. So I'll share. We use our own software for marketing. It's in fact 99% of our marketing effort. We've published about 1,000 articles, or scheduled over 1,000 articles. We haven't published them all yet, using just our own software. So our web traffic. So I should mention we're a two-person part-time company. Myself and another co-founder working part-time. Uh, we have no marketing budget or no venture capital funding. We're not doing any pay-per-click advertising. So we're doing none of the stuff that, a lot of other startups or young companies do. And my web traffic is growing around 400% a month. So that's me putting in me and my co-founder putting in 20 hours a month total. So that's an extraordinary output number just from a web traffic growth perspective and we're competing against people like Jasper, Copy.ai that have raised tens or hundreds of millions of dollars in some cases, and we're out competing many of them. The second thing I want to point out is what's actually results that you can go see yourself. You don't even have to believe me. So as of like yesterday, Content Hurricane's website is on Google page one for about 50 different queries, including here's a fun one I realized last night. A query related to the Interpublic Group. The Interpublic Group is the largest marketing agency on the planet with $10 billion in revenue. And even though they are literally the world's best marketers, and somehow I'm on the same page as them for somebody searching for their name.
Hmm.
I don't know how that happened, but we did something right along the way.
Hmm. Hmm. Wow. Who did the programming of Content Hurricane? You too, or how did that work?
Just the two of us. So I'm semi-technical. I can code a bit, but I'm not a professional engineer. So I wrote the minimum viable product in Python on my own computer, and then I laid out a product specification. And then my co-founder, who's an engineer, wrote the production version of the web of our application, put it on the internet. So I wrote the basic algorithm for it, and then he actually turned it into a useful piece of software that you can use. Like you could have used mine, but it would have been ugly and terrible and no beautiful user interface. It would have been a bunch of code. He turned it into something that's, useful to the average person who is not a coder and doesn't know how to use Python.
Hmm. At the moment, you're offering beta testing, and why are you when it's so productive and it's already ready to deploy in a profitable way?
Sure. So look, people can pay for our software as well, but we've invited folks such as yourself to be beta testers for three reasons. Number one, it's obviously builds a lot of goodwill and gets people to invite me on podcasts and builds relationships. Number two is I'm actually getting useful feedback. So there was an SEO marketer who yesterday gave me a lot of feedback on, here's stuff that sucks, here's stuff that is awesome, here's stuff that like annoys me, but is actually quite good. Um, and that's valuable. And people usually, when they're paying for your software, they're not going to call you up and say, hey, Nick, you did me a favor. I'm going to give you some useful feedback. So that's really useful. And number three, obviously, when you start off as a company, you want to collect a lot of data on what's working versus not. And a practical piece of feedback for offering kind of our free trial or beta is I learned that lots of people were signing up for a website. A lot of people were struggling to to actually even connect their first website. And the really silly thing we learned was, um, lots of our users were signing up, not realizing that right now we don't connect to Webflow. We will in about a week, but they were signing up for our software, not realizing it doesn't work for their website yet. And so that gave us useful feedback saying, hey, Webflow is really important. We got to build that integration. So we built it last week. We're going through the beta, testing it internally right now, and should be launching it next week.
Hmm. You mentioned last week also that you have some significant upgrades, such as um, uh, real-time information being integrated in the articles or something like that?
Sure. So two things have happened really over the last week and a half or so. Number one, real-time information has always been in there since day one. That's part of kind of the research part of our article publication. So that's been there since day one. But over the past 2 weeks, I think we've made two or three major upgrades. Number one is the articles are even prettier visually. So I think the article you showed was based off of our version one tool. I think you
Mhm,
probably scheduled it a couple of months ago.
mhm.
The new articles are much prettier. And if you, let's see if I can pull something up right now very quickly. Um, to see if there's a much prettier article that I can show. Um, I'll include it a link in show notes, but basically the visual articles are much prettier. It's not necessarily smarter from an SEO perspective, but it is easier for an end user. There's beautiful colorings and highlights and stuff going on. The second thing is we've included what's called credible external linking. So your article, instead of about let's say capital raising, will now automatically link to let's say Kleiner Perkins website or Wikipedia or Investopedia, really good credible third-party sources. So if your users want to learn more, they can literally click a link and it'll go to the right Investopedia article or Wikipedia article or Blackstone's website automatically. So it'll link to external people outside of your network. That's really important because that's really useful to end users and shows Google, hey, you're not just trying to promote your own website, you're trying to create something useful for your end users. Again, going back to that philosophy of as much as we want to drive traffic and sell our own product, Google only rewards you if you're creating value for their end user, and their end user often not doesn't just want to learn about Zarina and her website, but may also want to go take that next step and go talk to Blackstone about raising capital, for example. Um, and then the third thing we did is increase the length of articles. One of the things we realized kind of from our feedback from actually some of our beta testers was we were erring on the side of shorter articles, say like 1,000 words. And our users were saying that, hey, we really want something that's a little bit deeper. So we extended the average article length on average to around 1,500 to 3,000 articles now, or 3,000 word articles, which I think it doesn't really make a difference to us, but it was something that our users were really asking us to do.
Mhm, mhm. Can people still try the beta version of your
Sure.
website?
So anybody can go onto the website right now and sign up totally for free with no credit card. You get 5 articles for free. If you want to have access to the unlimited beta, you do need to contact me. And the reason is because for our unlimited beta users, you could write 1,000 articles if you want. And I don't want everyone writing 1,000 articles because that will slow up and clog down the system for everyone. But literally, any listener right now, anyone in the world can go sign up totally free, no credit card, start using the software in 2 minutes. And if they want to upgrade to a beta, they just need to shoot me an email or text and I'll upgrade them.
Oh, fantastic.
But you don't need the beta to go use the software. It's completely free right now.
Hmm. What's next? What do you expect next in terms of the development in this industry sector? I don't know what to call it, this technology.
Sure. Sure. So for our own software, the good news is the actual article generation, the way we create value for our users, we think is awesome. It works. It's worked for your website. It works for my website. It's working for all of my other, both free users as well as beta users. So I don't think we actually need to improve the core technology. What we need to do is make it work for other types of websites. Right now, as of today, it only works for WordPress. In about a week, it'll work for Webflow, Shopify, and allow you to copy paste the content to any other strange website you have. So if you're using a technology platform that doesn't talk to other platforms well, you can just copy paste the article over. So if you literally have your own website that you for some reason write in HTML, you could literally copy paste the articles in about a week or so, which is going to be so powerful because it will enable people who built their website on other platforms, Shopify, Squarespace, Wix, HTML, to now use it instead of just WordPress users. So that should make our technology just much more accessible and useful to people who right now can't use our software.
Hmm. There are talks of the next version of ChatGPT including video. What do you think about the importance of video for SEO and how this will integrate with Content Hurricane?
Sure. So it's very easy for our software to expand to video, number one, right? And that's kind of part of our longer term roadmap to add audio, video, images. Right now, we haven't done that for kind of two reasons. Number one is there's a lot of people producing images and video out there right now. And we don't want to compete with them. That's number one. Number two, producing video is really expensive. So if we were to offer a video platform, we'd need to start charging you 100 or 200 bucks a month. And I don't think people want to start spending that until they really trust your brand and your product, right? Content Hurricane is 10 bucks a month for a paying user. So much more affordable. If you hate us, you can cancel, but you're not taking a lot of risk. And then the third is there's actually a really fundamental problem with video that people don't think about, which is video content is fleeting. So if you think about, let's say YouTube Shorts or TikTok, every day to stay relevant, you have to produce a new video, right? Yesterday's trending video or the trending video from a week ago is dead today. If you're a content creator, you need to constantly be creating new content. And that's not what businesses want. That's really expensive. What you want to do is what's called creating evergreen content. That same blog article, that awesome blog article that you write today will still be relevant in driving traffic to your website a year from now or 5 years from now. That is not true of video. So we really wanted to focus on content that is useful to businesses for driving continuous perpetual traffic to them so they're not always forced to be creating new content every single day, week, year, day, or that's just really expensive and really stressful, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Imagine being a TikTok creator. If you had a viral video today, that's great. You made $1 million. But tomorrow, if you don't have, you have to create a brand new viral video or your TikTok channel is dead. And you don't want to be doing that as a business.
What else is relevant about Content Hurricane and the entire ecosystem?
Sure. I think three things are happening within the broader marketing technology ecosystem. Number one is obviously people, both myself, my competitors, and contemporaries, are applying AI in really interesting ways and really useful ways. The second thing that's happening is philosophically, a lot of business owners and marketers are starting to adopt these technologies because they're starting to be less afraid that, hey, not that AI is going to take my job, but rather AI is going to let me do my job 100x better. And then third is I think there's a design shift within the kind of marketing AI to make it easier to use, right? I think in the first wave of AI tools, there's really a focus of, hey, AI is awesome. We're gonna just make it super complicated and allow you to customize everything. And over time, the marketing world has realized, not just marketing, AI software companies have realized that look, AI is insanely powerful, but the average end user doesn't want to make 50 settings. They just want AI to solve the problem for them really, really quickly. And so there's this design shift, which is why, for example, for Content Hurricane, when you showed it, there were like 6 buttons, right? And most of those 6 buttons are just click next a bunch of times. We took away all the stuff that's happening in the background, all the features, all the knobs and settings, and just let AI take care of it for you. Which just makes it easier for you. And that's whether for you as a small business owner or really for a CEO of $1 billion company. He or she doesn't have time to think about 80 different settings and spend 30 minutes on a piece of software. They want it done in 30 seconds. And that's a design shift that is going throughout the AI software ecosystem right now.
Fantastic. Oh, one last question before I go, because I asked you about the saturation. Will the effect of the SEO generated through these articles diminish over time, or will there be perpetual growth in terms of attracted customers?
Sure. So right now, adoption of AI tools within the marketing world, whether for agencies or for in-house marketers, is less than 0.01% of people using it as an actual part of their workflow. Once everyone starts using it, yes, the effect will diminish. But we're probably 5 or 10 years away from it. So anybody who's adopting these tools aggressively right now, whether it be Content Hurricane or a pure piece of software, has a huge, huge advantage on everyone. And I'll go back to an idea scale story, right? We adopted AI for our marketing probably 2 years ahead of our competitors. And as a consequence, I had 10x more traffic than all of my competitors combined for 2 years. And they still haven't caught up. And so my advice to marketers is yes, eventually the space will be saturated. Eventually everyone else is going to be using these tools. But if you're able to do your job with a tank and everyone else is using knives for the next 2 years, you should absolutely do that before they catch up to you. And again, whether that be using our tool or a peer tool, you should just do this aggressively, not worry about the state of the world 5 years from now. Because for the next 5 years, you will have such an extraordinary advantage over everyone else.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for creating this wonderful tool, contenthurricane.com, for anyone who wants to try it out. Now is the time.
Exactly. Now, not 5 years from now, because 5 years from now, it'll be an entirely different ballgame.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much, Nick. Pleasure having you again.
Thank you for having me, Zarina.